Hello and welcome to N-Focus, coming to you this week from Modestoke Stadium in the Galar region. I'm your host, Hilka. Joining me as always is my co-host, Rosalie. How are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm just very eepy, as the kids say. May is crazy. It's the month where it was my very close friend Nikki's birthday. It has been my mum's birthday. It's my father-in-law's birthday next weekend, and it's my fiance's birthday after that. So it's been like making plans, organizing really good presents, and doing all this. And also, as we all know, Switch 2 is coming, so lots of work-related things for that. I'm very much looking forward to the end of June where I can just sleep.
Yeah.
Lots of sleep. But other than that, I'm good. Just sleepy. How are you?
I'm also very tired for also very fun reasons, also family related, mostly. So yeah, the listeners of the show may have noticed we generally try to record an episode every 2 weeks. Obviously, last week there was no episode because I suddenly had to go to a different city because I became an uncle.
Yay! Congrats, that's so cool.
Yeah, I'm very excited. It's all going well. I bought a really big stuffed toy for him like 2 months ago.
Oh,
It's way too big for him, but it's very fun. It is a bee Rex, an amalgamation of a bee and a Tyrannosaurus Rex. And it'll just sit in his room until he's big enough to play with it.
I love that. I actually jealous all the cool baby stuff that you get now. Not jealous as in like, I don't know. Jealous might not be the right word. Could you get official universal baby clothes and there's a bib and it has the Bruce from the shark from Jaws on it, and it says Dun Dun, and I'm like, that's cool.
If I am allowed to complain about one part of it, though, is obviously I have gone to a number of baby stores to just look around, see what's available, buy some stuff for the baby. Where did all the colors go?
Oh yeah, it's all beige.
It's all sad beige.
Did you see there was a woman online that did a how to customize your baby ball pit, and she painted it all gray.
Yucky.
I'm like, yeah, you could I think at B&M over here, you can buy a gray ball pit, and I'm like, I'm sorry, if you know you're going to have children, you have to accept that if you have one of those houses that's very, like a Karen house, you're gonna have to accept there's gonna be lots of colorful toys and stuff in it because it comes with the program.
Yeah, babies like bright colors.
Yeah, the trick is just to have a house that looks like you have children anyway. Lots of squishmallows, despite the fact you're 34 going on 35. And then no one will notice the difference when you have a baby. There you go. Life hack.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, aside from that, it's just been going pretty well. I've got a cool concert this week. Ooh. A new tabletop game came in the mail earlier this week. Rapscallion, a pirate tabletop RPG.
Ooh.
It's very exciting. I haven't finished reading it yet, but it looks very cool so far.
Oh, I like a good mail day. My Surugaya order came today, which is a second-hand Japanese shop that I buy from. You get free shipping, no customs, and it's all Japanese prices. So it's this figure that I want, £40 in shops over here. Japan, $5.
Hashtag not sponsored. Hashtag not sponsored.
No, hashtag not sponsored, but oh my god. This is it's bad though, because it fuels my hoarding problem. But it also means I've managed to get merch for stuff that does not exist in this country, so that was nice.
Nice.
More anime girls for the shrine.
Yeah, it is very fun. There's one other person in our Discord server. That's the Game Podular Discord server, of course. who also collects a lot of figures, and it's very fun just seeing the two of you trade photos of, ooh, look at what I bought, and oh, this came in the mail, and ooh, here's my display. It's very neat. Like, that's not me at all, but I love seeing it.
But their collection is like godly.
Oh yeah, they have a shack just devoted to figures, right? Like,
yeah, that's the goal. That's the end goal. So I don't have my collection is like 5% of that. But yeah, love a plastic anime lady. Me, give me more. I also got some like Kingdom Hearts things and other things. But yes, good times.
And that concert that I'm going to this weekend is actually video game related.
Oh.
I won't be covering it on this show because none of it is Nintendo if I'm looking at the set list. But I'm going to go see Miracle of Sound, who makes music based on video games. You may have heard the song Valhalla Calling a couple years ago. It went like viral and got him millions and millions of Spotify streams.
Ooh.
He became one of the most listened to Irish artists in the world.
Take that, YouTube.
Despite not being on the radio.
Wow.
But yeah, he's doing his first like tour in like, or his first just live performance period since like 2013, 14, where he played at the Escapist Expo.
Wow.
Yeah. And I'm super excited. I'm going to be talking about it on Game Podular Unfocused, which should be coming out sort of near the end of the month, as it usually does. So if you're curious about hearing that, go listen to it. It should be a great time.
Ooh.
And buy tickets to this tour. The set list looks baller. If you're in Europe, because he's already finished his UK and Ireland tour, and he's now doing Europe. And not America at all. So I guess that pretty much limits a lot of our listeners who would want to go to that, because we have a lot of like Americans and like a lot of Australians, I think, if I'm remembering the metrics correctly.
Cool. Love Australians.
And if you do like listening to our shows, both of them, you could kick us a couple of dollars on our Patreon. That's patreon.com/GamePodular. Don't have to, but, it would be cool if you did. We'd always appreciate it. It helps us pay for hosting costs and all that kind of thing. Yeah.
Yes, please.
Thank you in advance.
Yeah.
Also, hey, we're on YouTube, youtube.com/@GamePodular. It's been going pretty well. All things considered, like we haven't cracked like double-digit viewers on a video yet, but it doesn't look like I've broken anything in like the managing of the channel so far. So that's a good sign.
That's good.
Yeah, and if you are on YouTube, hey, what up? Click the like button and the subscribe button and the bell for the notification. I'm going to get over saying that at some point, but right now it's still early days, so it still like hurts a little part of my soul. But I am told by other people who are on YouTube that it does actually work. So I do have to say it. I'm sorry, but please do all of those things that I just said.
We're down with the kiddos.
Oh yeah, that's me. I definitely know what the kids like.
Yeah.
Any fans of Megas XLR in the 12 to 18-year-old demographic? No? Just me? Well, I guess I'm not in that demographic, but what? You're telling me that a cartoon show from 2004 isn't foundational media for Gen Alpha?
Is that the one that had like Steve Bloom in it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was like Max. I remember that.
David DeLuise as the main character.
I like him. I like his dad. Well, I liked his dad more, but I like him.
Yeah. It was... I could talk about that show for a while, but I'm not going to. Instead, I'm going to talk about the news.
Ooh.
cast your minds back to the forgotten years of January of this year, episode 253, where we talked about accessory manufacturer Genki. They were all over the Consumer Electronics Expo. They were showing off their mock-up of the Switch 2 based on what they claimed to be an actual console that they'd somehow gotten their hands on. And they had a whole line of accessories that would be available for purchase at launch. That is, of course, before some of Nintendo's legal representation contacted them, and they started claiming that it was all based on leaks instead. At the time, I'm pretty sure we said that there was no way they weren't getting sued, and look, we were right.
Yeah.
Yeah. On May 2nd, Nintendo filed a trademark suit in California against Genki, alleging, among other things, that Genki could not possibly guarantee compatibility of their accessories without having an actual console, which at the time was proprietary technical information that Nintendo did not share with them, so they must have obtained it illicitly. Look, you know us, we are rarely on Nintendo's side when they sue somebody, but on this one, sorry, Genki, I don't know what you were expecting.
Yeah.
It's just like they have since responded with a public statement on their Twitter account. Not gonna lie, it's not much of a statement. It doesn't tell us really anything, but for the sake of journalistic integrity, I suppose, I'm going to share it here. I'm just going to read it out loud, verbatim. A note from the Genki team. You may have seen that Nintendo recently filed a lawsuit against us. We're taking it seriously and working with legal counsel to respond thoughtfully. What we can say is this. Genki has always been an independent company focused on building innovative gaming accessories for the community we love. We're proud of the work we've done, and we stand by the quality of originality of our products. While we can't comment in detail, we're continuing preparations to fulfill orders and showcase our newest products at PAX East this week. We're grateful for the overwhelming support we've received so far. We'll share more when we can, but for now, we're staying focused on doing what we do best, building gear for gamers. Team Genki. Like I said, kind of a nothing burger of a statement.
Yeah, although, yeah, they probably can't really say much more than that, to be honest, but yeah.
No. You know, under advice of legal counsel, don't say anything you don't absolutely have to.
Yeah. All that jazz.
Yeah, but, like, I understand, like, making the claims of, oh, yeah, we got a console and our accessories are guaranteed to line up with it is, like, it grabbed some headlines. Like, not gonna lie, I really hadn't heard of Genki until we covered that story in January, but, like, it really feels like a short-term gain, long-term loss kind of situation, you know?
Yeah, because it's not like other brands haven't already got Switch 2 accessories that you can buy right now. That, you know, some are, well, they're third party, so that they're not officially licensed. Those are coming out from Nintendo on June 5th. But, like, they could have just waited, like everybody else.
Yeah.
Because, like, Stealth have accessories out already. Spidgen, I don't know how it's pronounced. Who else? The brand that known for their Steam Deck stuff, JS AUX. They also have their accessories for the Switch 2 out right now. So, you know, waiting could have been a good decision to do. Very odd. Although you're right, I didn't hear about Genki before now, but I don't know. I just would try and not anger Nintendo.
No, like if, like, no big video game company is not litigious. But as we cover a fair number of Nintendo lawsuits on this podcast, and we don't even cover all of them.
No,
like they are famously extremely litigious.
Yeah,
and I sometimes feel like I could make better decisions than this. You know, obviously I'm not much of a business owner per se. Like I don't have like a business degree. I don't really have a lot of experience running a business. But like you see decisions like this, or At this point, I'm convinced I could, for example, at this point, I'm convinced I could do David Zaslav's job better than he could. This week, they announced that they're rebranding back to HBO Max, a thing that everyone thinks is a good idea because they never should have gotten rid of the HBO in the first place. I don't work there, and I could have told you that, and look at this. And they're spinning it off as like, oh yeah, we're constantly innovating. And we're constantly, like, dynamically innovating our brand. And now you're just going back to what worked because nobody liked the other one. And I feel like some business owners get so lost in the sauce of just, ooh, yeah, we got to disrupt the market. And ooh, we need to stand out. And then they just make bad decisions.
Yeah. I always think like stand out by making a good product, rather than, oh, we need to leak something, we need to do this, we need to, just make something really cool that people want, because then people will be like, oh, this thing's really cool. As somebody that reviews tech for a living, like, I'm more impressed than like how interesting and well put together and have high quality your product is, and any gimmicky stuff on the side. I mean, I do like a bit of a gimmick. If something glows in the dark, I'm gonna be all over that. But like, I'd rather that be your gimmick than you getting into legal trouble.
Yeah. Give me some translucent plastic.
Oh, love a bit of that. I'm surrounded by that right now. It's great.
But yeah, this is not a lawsuit that I'm like particularly interested in following up on, not like the Pal World one. But just, yeah, come on. Like, I don't, again, I'm going to say it again. I don't know what you were expecting. I think everybody could have seen this coming, and they should have, but so for some reason they didn't. All right, our next story. Oh boy, this is also a long one in my notes. So there was a new system update for the Switch.
Yes.
The firmware specifically, and it's been controversial. Let's call it controversial. We talked about the game cards feature, the virtual game cards feature, in episode 259. Oh, wow, it was only 2 episodes ago. Wow, it feels like ages longer than that. And this feature was going to change how game sharing worked. Previously, you designated a primary console for your account, and then any other accounts on that console could access the games that were on it. You could also sign into your account on other consoles, play your games on those. Virtual game cards, they removed this primary-secondary distinction and treats the digital game like a physical cart, meaning it can only be active in one console at a time. Asterisk. There's currently a workaround, I don't know if this will be there forever, where if one of your consoles is offline, say in airplane mode, it can't check if the game is active somewhere else, so you'll be able to play it offline.
Oh, a bit like Steam then.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how you get around, say, like, if some companies have like a staff Steam account and you only get a code for one game, but you need a guide writer and someone who's testing something to play it at the same time. So long as one of you is an offline, then you can both get away with it. Yeah.
Now, when we talked about this system on episode 259, we, and especially Rosalie, expressed some concerns about, no, I'm giving you credit where credit is due, because you were on the money here.
Okay.
We were, we had some concerns about the system making sharing games harder when it was announced, and that has proven to be the case. Previously it was a lot easier to share games, and now treating a digital game like a physical game, meaning only one copy can be active at a time, just makes it harder.
I know. Why can't they make digital games like physicals in that they're cheaper? They
are doing that in Europe for the Switch too.
Some of them, yeah.
Yeah, cheaper than the physical, I should say. but not cheaper in general.
No.
Is I guess the most accurate way to say it.
Yeah. I knew. I mean, I don't want to get too much into it, but you know how like the world is like falling apart a little bit. Anytime there's like an
A
announcement,
little bit.
yeah. Well, anytime there's like an announcement of a thing, I'm just instantly gonna go, "This is gonna be bad," right? Because no big conglomerate tech company right now is gonna do something pro-consumer, are they? Because it doesn't really.
No.
It's not in their best interest. It would be in our best interest if they did do something pro-consumer, but it wouldn't make any sense from like a, wanting to make more money standpoint. So
Yeah, got to make the line go up.
I mean, that's not like a blind. Like I don't want to say that for everything because there is, I actually do like games, contrary to what it sounds like right now.
Yeah.
And there is some cool things. Like Sony brought back the cool PlayStation PS5 themes. That was cool.
Yeah.
So like things happen, but yeah, I had a inkling that this is going to be a bad thing.
I do want to say one thing that is related to this. Mm-hmm. The system update did also prep the system for a Switch 2 feature called Game Share, which will allow people on a local area network to play games with each other, even if only one person actually owns the game.
Yeah,
so if you are a multi-console household, you only need one copy of Mario Kart to play together.
Yeah.
So it's like, what did I say in my notes? It's like one step forward, two steps back, kind of. No, other way around. It's two steps back, one step forward.
Yeah, it's cool. Because they had some. I think I've literally said this 2 episodes ago, but there were some DS games that were like that. I think Mario Kart DS let you do. You only had one person that had to have the game, and one of the Mario parties on the DS, the first one, the one where you're shrunk down and you're all cute, and that's like, oh, that was good. So it's cool that it's a thing. Although I'm not going to use it because I only have one Switch. Don't know who can afford 2.
I also want to say I've seen multiple, specifically parents who do own multiple Switches for like in the family, say that they do like the system and that it's like very intuitive and convenient to be like, hey, I'm just gonna like move this digital game to your Switch.
Oh, I do.
And then you get to play it.
Yeah, because I actually think I'll go off on a tangent too much, but I actually do find like the parental standpoint of being into games quite interesting because there's a lot of things you have to consider. Because like obviously previous generations, like my gran wasn't playing the NES, right? So like now, I mean, you have to give me a couple of years, but I'm planning to have a child, and I'm actually thinking like I would feel more comfortable if like because they're gonna have lots of consoles in the house. Because that's a given. It's me. But if I can afford it, I would be more comfortable if they had their own one, so that they didn't get mine DualSense all sticky or And it's also like all these extra things you have to consider of like how you share games between each other and the finances of it. So it's actually quite interesting. So it's good to know that it's a plus in that area. It makes me happy.
Yeah. So it's like it's sort of that's why we call it controversial. It's sort of a mixed success, as we say in the tabletop RPG sphere.
That's one for the podcast bingo.
I'm gonna make that at some point. I promise.
I haven't made a Simpsons reference yet, so.
Podcast's still young. We've still got a lot to talk about.
If I do it and forget, that'll be incredible. But no, we really need to pick a bingo card. It's like Hilka talks about tabletop games, Monster Hunter, Simpsons reference.
Hilka uses all right as a segue into the next news story. That's what I've definitely written down. Also, sort of a side part to this story. In preparation for the Switch 2, Nintendo also launched a system transfer feature, You can transfer your settings and all your data and stuff to the new console via local wireless connection. Or if you're trading in your own console earlier to, say, help offset the cost of the pre-order, it can be stored on Nintendo servers for up to a year.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah. I have sort of been thinking, like, how much am I actually going to use my Switch 1 once the Switch 2 comes out?
Oh, probably never again.
Yeah.
But I'm a hoarder and a collector. So it's probably like right now it's on my desk, but it's actually not even plugged in anymore. It's on my in amongst my Zelda shrine where the OLED is. Because I'm like, am I gonna play a game in between now and the Switch 2? Probably not. I mean, other than the game I'm technically talking about later. But yeah, maybe you already had your last Switch 2 moment and you didn't realize.
I mean, I was playing my Switch 1 like earlier today.
Oh, okay.
So like, yeah, I'm still actively using it a lot.
Well, my theory is that I wanted to complete some PS5 stuff before I entered the realm of Switch 2 stuff. So that's my excuse.
Yeah, if there's anything I haven't touched recently, it's been my Xbox.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, especially since I, canceled my Game Pass subscription. To...
No, that makes sense if you're not using it.
Yeah, well, it's the other way around, right? I stopped using my Xbox really because I canceled my Game Pass subscription. And it's because, like, I mean, hey, we're going to get into politics a little bit. Microsoft is directly funding the genocide in Palestine. And as part of, like, a protest by the BDS organization, I canceled my Game Pass subscription and I refuse to pay money for Xbox games until they solve that, until they stop doing that. So that's why I haven't used my Xbox recently.
I literally cannot get around not using Xbox stuff because I have to for my job. So
Exactly. Yeah, I have the ability to make that choice, and I made that choice.
Yeah, that's good. Good on you.
Yeah.
Although, you use a Mac, don't you? No.
No, I have a PC.
Okay.
Big chunky PC.
So technically, still using Microsoft stuff, though.
Yeah, it's.
I know it's hard.
I'm not actively giving them money anymore.
No, that's true.
Like I don't have like a Word subscription either.
Yeah.
I'm a LibreOffice guy.
Oh, open source. No, I was just being facetious. That's fine.
Yeah. All right. Oh no. Right. Yeah, we have the two bummer stories right at the end here. The first one of those. Okay, not exactly a Nintendo related story, but I did want to mention it because I feel about it very strongly. Pour one out for Polygon. They were sold to Valnet, a company that owns a number of other sites that severely underpay all their writers. And as part of the sale, most of the staff, including most of, if not all of the unionized staff, were laid off. They did it on International Workers' Day, which was especially cruel. This is really sad. I always considered Polygon to be like the gold standard for games journalism. They had great personality, quality of writing. They had interesting criticism. My literal favorite ever piece of games writing was on Polygon about Ghost of Tsushima. Just hard-hitting journalism. It's sad to see it go, and yeah, it's going to be a shell of its former self, and a lot of very skilled people lost their jobs. And I'm sad about that.
The industry it's something.
Yeah.
Held together with plasters and hope.
Every time that there's something like this comes up, we do go out of our way to mention all the like independent and worker-owned sites. Nice thing that came out like more or less the same time. Giant Bomb is now independently owned. I can't say I've ever like really interacted with Giant Bomb all that much, but a lot of people really love them, and it's nice to see them not going the way of the dodo.
Yeah. The only thing, when these things happen, of which I've been a part of twice, I do get annoyed when people say, "Hey, just support independent outlets," because a lot of independent outlets, a lot of them are people who can afford, people who are in a place where they are known writers already, and there is a lot of writers that are still with like company-owned sites. Hey, hi, I'm one of them. That are fantastic. I work with a ton of fantastic, hardworking journalists. So there are still people out there. Like, if you're going to support indie, support lots of writers from different outlets that you still appreciate.
For sure.
Especially because some independent outlets could be a bit more diverse on the stuff, and I'm not some I'm not a fan of that a lot of people love, just because I think there's a lot of rhetoric going around. It's like, if you work with this, like, there's people who've been accused of writing AI, and it's literally people I know that are very good writers. Like, there can be a bit of snobbery involved, and as a working class person and writer, it just rubs me the wrong way. Support everybody that you can, independent and people who are still actively writing. And if you do see an article you like, or even if it's something you don't really agree on, please link to the source when you're talking in social media, because for some reason there's like a trend now of taking like a screenshot of an article, and because I recognize the font, I can tell what sites it's from, and they're talking about the headline. I'm like, cool, could you have linked to the article so that writer could have got a click, maybe?
Yeah.
I don't understand. Like, if you care about games media, like, post and reshare people's work. Simple.
Yeah. There's so much like there's so much good writing still that happens, be it on bigger sites or independent ones.
Yeah.
And if anything, the ones on the bigger sites are more accessible, because most of the independent ones, because they're subscription based, a lot of their best stuff is behind a paywall, and
that's true.
Not everyone can afford those.
Yeah. Just support as many people as you can, and try not to like I don't know, shun people just because they work somewhere, because people got bills to pay. So that's, exactly. I just felt a bit sad sometimes, and it was like, go to these sites, and I'm like, oh, what about the other ones? They have good people too.
Yeah.
It hurt a little. I'm not saying you have to read stuff I write. I just mean that, like, there's a lot of people all over the place still writing fantastic things, and people just writing blogs. Man, my friend Daryl, who used to be he's written for everybody everywhere. He has a really cool newsletter, and he's a fantastic writer. He's written a book on Tomb Raider, man. He knows his stuff. Just support writers.
Yeah.
In general, no matter where they are.
If it weren't for games writing, I would probably not be doing this podcast right now.
Oh yeah, me neither. Maybe, probably.
Yeah. I can only speak for myself, but I assume, we both got into this because we thought it was very cool and we wanted to do it.
Yeah.
And that's why this podcast would not exist without games writing. And it should continue to exist. And people and everybody who works in games writing should be getting paid more for it.
Yes.
It is a thankless job that is famously highly underpaid, and a lot of people get a disproportionate amount of hate and abuse online, which, God, I love being a gamer. There are so many colorful characters in our community.
My favorite is being accused of being paid by companies to say that I like stuff, and it's like, I wish, man. No, if I like a bit of shiny electronics, I will tell you. That's kind of why I'm here. But if people knew more what it was actually like, it'd be a better place. But
Yep.
Oh well.
All right, let's go to another piece of sad news.
Oh, I know.
It's an interesting piece of sad news, though. Hey, do you remember that the Louvre in Paris
had... I love that you pronounce it properly.
Yeah, I mean, I took like 7 years of French. Like, I don't
Okay, yeah.
remember super much of it, but my pronunciation was always pretty good.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, they used to, emphasis on used to, have a 3DS audio tour system. You
Yeah.
would pay like 5 or 6 euros, rent a 3DS that would have like special software installed and give you an audio tour with like extra visuals and 3D models on the screen and stuff.
So cool.
It was sick. And they're discontinuing it after 13 years.
Oh.
I I have to say I wouldn't be surprised if it's just cuz like the hardware is aging and Nintendo's not servicing them anymore.
Yeah,
So,
there's some like replacement parts have stopped selling as well, so it's totally if they break, I guess it'll be a lot harder to fix them as well.
yeah. They haven't announced yet what the replacement's going to be. I imagine it's just going to be like a smartphone app.
Ah, boring.
But like I went to Paris a very long time ago. I'm pretty sure I did this when I went to the Louvre.
Oh.
Can't fully remember it cuz it was 8 or 9 years ago at this point.
Ah.
But it was a really cool feature, and it made like a very cool use of the Nintendo 3DS's features. And it is sad to see it go, although I do think it is for very understandable reasons. They haven't actually said that this is the reason, but this seems like the thing that makes the most sense to me.
Maybe they'll do a Switch 2 one. But no, because everyone would just
Ooh.
steal them.
Yeah. Because the wild thing was this thing was so successful that they released the software just on the Nintendo eShop. So if you had your own 3DS, you could download it and bring it to the museum.
Right, that's the bit that rings a bell.
Yeah.
That's very cool. I'm kind
Because
of
they
sad.
didn't start out that way, but people just loved it so much that they just released it as a free download.
I wonder. I wonder if someone's even with that knowledge. I wonder if someone's going to make it like their collection goal to get actually one of the ones um in the Louvre. Cannot
That would be
pronounce it as good as
cool.
you. Yeah, because I remember wasn't there like a McDonald's work training like DS game cart?
Ooh, that sounds very vaguely familiar.
Yeah, and someone did a video essay on it because they finally managed to find one or something, and it was like a really cool thing. And I'm like, I love weird gaming artifacts like this. Like they're things we're not technically meant to be able to collect, but they just end up like a manager takes it home and then forgets they have it. And, I love that so much.
Yeah.
'Cause I don't have anything like that. Everything I have collected is like a thing that you were able to buy at one point, and that's really boring.
Yeah, like special editions
Yeah,
and
or
stuff
even
like
like
that.
a friend of the podcast ages ago sent me like some Nintendo promos. Like it was like a Splatoon 3 bag and little pins, and because he went to like a Nintendo event, I've got stuff like that, which was very nice. of him.
Nice.
But yeah, like that would be so cool to have that. Because did the TDSs have like a cool like sticker or design on them, or were they just like old ones?
If I'm not mistaken, they had a lanyard, like a special Louvre lanyard,
Oh,
to indicate that they are not just somebody's 3DS they brought from home.
yeah. Because I can see the retro future guy. I could see him trying to get one. But yeah, that'd be really cool. I love. There used to be loads of like cool. I know this is not Nintendo, but there was like PSP travel games as well that would use the camera. Like I miss weird I miss weird artifacts like that of gaming. I feel like there's less. We just have lots of weird AI hentai puzzle games on the eShop, which is not as fun.
Yeah. I mean, like, the era of a handheld console is kind of just over, right? Like,
Yeah.
the Switch is the closest thing we have. I know that there's talk of Microsoft maybe doing another one.
Yeah, there's a Xbox thing, but I think they're making it alongside a company rather than it being developed in house.
Yeah, because like we have a bunch of handheld PCs,
Yep.
like the Steam Deck, the ROG Ally, and stuff, but those are just kind of too big for something like this. And the only other
Yeah.
handheld consoles that are out there are just
Emulator
emulation
ones.
consoles.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, that's sad.
Yeah,
No. But also, I
I
guess we don't really have a need for that anyway, because it makes more sense having, like, PC handhelds make more sense because people want them to be more high powered and things. So,
yeah.
oh, end of an era.
But I really rather enjoyed like having a handheld thing that I could take with me that wasn't just my phone. You know,
Yeah.
having like actual controls and buttons instead of just a touchscreen, and games that weren't chock full of microtransactions and daily energy levels and all that garbage.
Yeah. I do like, I do love the, like, just having everything on your phone as well, though, because it's so much easier. But, I do, 'cause sometimes I forget that, like, when Pokemon Diamond and Pearl came out on the DS, like everybody from my high school, and I hated high school, right? But at that time, like me and my pals would hang out in the room and we all played the game and started our adventure like at the same time that we pressed the button at the exact moment. And it was like a
Yeah,
thing and it felt like an event. You were making the memories right there and then. And that's not, I feel like we've lost a bit of that, which is kind of sad. But it
yeah.
could also be because I'm old. So
The, the last time we really had something that big, I feel, was Pokemon Go, right?
oh my, single-handedly my favorite launch of a video game of all time, even though it was a mobile app.
Yeah.
Something about that time was just incredible. Ah,
Yeah, I would like go into town, like into the center of the city I live in, and just see people walking around, very obviously playing Pokemon Go. Like you could see them doing the circle motion on the touchscreen and flicking to throw a Pokeball, and just like charging packs were flying off the shelves, so people could charge their phone while they were playing.
me and
Like,
me and my fiance had matching Team Mystic t-shirts
oh, nice.
and we would wear them to the Pokestops. And we did the thing because it was it came out in Australia first before the
Yeah.
UK, but somebody put up the APK, which is like a naughty install file so you can play games, because I play a lot of Japanese only games on my phone. So we all played it early, and I remember going to the Princess Gardens, which is big fancy gardens in front of Edinburgh Castle. And there's this big, huge group of people, all of a similar age. We're all just staring at each other until they were like, "You playing Pokemon? Yeah. Oh, did you guess? Oh, there's a Snorlax over here." Arr. And it was so fun. It
Yeah.
was amazing. And then like Glasgow had clubs. There was East End Pokemon Go clubs like per area of Glasgow, and there was a car, and they had Pokemon plushies, and they would just drive to Pokestops, and they did that like every weekend.
Wow.
So cool. I miss it. And now I don't walk about enough to merit playing it.
Yeah, but also it kind of just sucks now, right? Like
I don't know.
they've
I've literally not played it in like 5 years or something.
everything I've seen about it is they have really tightened the screws on just everything costing a lot more and
Ah.
all that kind of thing. And hey, now they're owned by Saudi Arabia, so like
Oh yeah.
no thanks.
Oh, because they did a did you the Monster Hunter one?
Yep, that's
Yeah.
also yep.
Oh, we mentioned Monster Hunter. Tick, bingo card. Yeah, that's sad. Oh, that's really grim.
Do you want to hear a fun fact in air quotes?
Yes.
Monopoly Go
Uh-huh.
is technically the most expensive video game ever made.
Jesus. That's
Because they've spent $1 billion on marketing,
Ah.
and marketing does factor into the budget of video games.
Does it pay off? I don't know anybody that plays it.
If the Wikipedia page I read yesterday is any indication, yes, that game has earned $5 billion just on its own.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
All for a game that originated to make fun of capitalism.
Yeah.
So grim. Oops.
Okay, Hilka's gonna get on his board gaming soapbox a little bit.
Oh.
I'm going to preface this by saying I do not like Monopoly very much.
Oh no, all my friends who love tabletop games also hate Monopoly, so that's fine.
But I will say,
Oh.
most people who dislike Monopoly, myself included, played it wrong.
Oh.
There are, like, everybody who I've ever talked to about Monopoly talks about, like, oh yeah, our games of Monopoly would last like 5 hours because everybody does house rules to keep people in the game, where you could take loans that you're not supposed to according to the rules. Or I don't know if you ever did this, but like if you got on like the free parking, there was money on the inside of the board that you would get to keep you in the game for longer. That's not allowed. An average game of Monopoly is supposed to go like 90 minutes.
Oh, I don't remember that rule. I do.
Well, those are house rules that, right? Like that a lot of people I know did. And yeah, you're adding rules to the game to keep people in the game longer because it feels bad to be like, well, I'm out. I guess I'll go do something else while you two finish up.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, that leads to games lasting 3 to 5 hours when they're supposed to last 90 minutes.
That makes sense because I have played the digital game version, which is actually like not bad if you're if you just want to play something silly with your pal. And yeah, that lasts about under an hour. So,
Exactly.
Interesting.
So like maybe try playing Monopoly like actually according to the rules. You may find yourself enjoying it a lot more.
And you can get like Pokemon Monopoly and Mario Monopoly and like
Gamer Monopoly.
Dragon Ball Z Monopoly. I have Dragon Ball Z Cluedo, which is incredible that exists.
Yeah.
Good times.
So that was my board gaming soapbox for the episode.
That's fine. You're allowed one every episode. I think that's fair.
Oh no, I had like 3 more written down. Oh
God.
No. I guess I'll have to use those later. But for now, we're going to talk about the games that we have been playing. Now, 1 or 2 episodes ago, you mentioned that you had finished a Highland Song recently, and I'm curious to hear how your experience with that went, because I've also played it. Admittedly, I haven't finished it, but I'd love to sort of like swap notes for a bit here, because I think it is a game that's worthy of discussion at the very least.
Yeah. Well, because, I mean, if anyone doesn't know, I'm Scottish.
What? So... No. My whole world is crumbling.
I feel like just doing the rest of this episode in a really thick Scottish accent, but I feel like people might struggle with how I speak anyway, so it's probably a bad idea. Yeah, so any game that's like set in Scotland or has Scottish actors in it, like Still Wakes the Deep or things like that, I'm going to want to play. Because Scottish rep in media sucks anyway, but in games especially, it still is better, but it's still pretty dire.
It's better than Dutch representation, I'll tell you.
I know,
that much.
you do have it worse. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I'm not actually mad. It is just very funny.
Because like, yeah, I won't go into that in detail, but usually like if you have a Scottish character and maybe other people, maybe if you're not Scottish, you might not have noticed this, but whenever there is a Scottish voice actor or a character, they tend to be like a peasant or working class, because people like to stereotype Scottish people. I mean, I am working class, okay, so I am the stereotype, but people like to think if you are Scottish, you are poor, you're lesser than, you're unintelligent, and that stereotype is in a lot of stuff. Like, there'll just be a lot of Scottish peasants and fantasy things, and I hate it. It's why I love Dragon Quest XI, because all the royalty were all Scottish, and it was really actually Scottish voice actors, and it's Akira Toriyama too. So I was like, oh, this is so cool. So there is good rep. So I was very intrigued by this because it was a little, you're a little Scottish girl in the Highlands, and my family live in the Highlands. So, it was the scenery. I'm like, oh, I've seen mountains that look exactly like that. But it was all right. For some reason, I think they recorded one voice actor not in a booth, and one of them was in a very, very good sounding booth. And it really annoys me. It's like every time you quote unquote die, it'll tell you like a bit of like a poem, like a Scots
Yeah.
poem. And whoever who was recording that sounded like they were recording it in their house, and it wasn't well treated. And there was this really annoying echo. And I think it's because I was maybe had really fancy headphones on, but it was really obvious because then if you heard the voice actor of the like uncle character, or what was the uncle? I can't remember the uncle's name. Uncle something. His voice acting sounded like, oh, you could tell it was probably in a professional studio setting, and that really bugged me.
Yeah.
And also, some of the Scots words, like the dialects were mixed up a bit. Like there would be a word, there'd be like some phrases the girl would say, and then she would say something, and I'm like, but you don't really. There's things that people will say in Glasgow that people from like Aberdeen won't really say, and vice versa.
Okay.
So like I'm from Aberdeen, and if you went to get chips for your dinner, right, you'd say, I'm going to the chipper. But in Edinburgh, they say chippy. And like ice lollies are called icicles in Aberdeen. There's like certain like Scots words and words in general that are just different. And obviously you'll get people who will say different things because my accent's changed because I'm from Aberdeen, I grew up in Edinburgh, and now I live in Glasgow. So I've started to say words that are more with like a Glaswegian dialect. But it just, as a girl who seemingly grew up in the Highlands, she wouldn't necessarily say lots of words in different dialects, and it was kind of like a bit off-putting. But I think you'd only notice that if you're Scottish, okay? It's like a nitpick. But yeah, then it was all right. I completed it. I got to the end, and then it told me that I didn't get to the end fast enough, and that I have to go back and replay it. And the more you replay it, the faster you can get to the end and get the proper ending. But I didn't feel I enjoyed the mechanics enough to warrant replaying it. So I then just watched the better ending on YouTube.
Yeah. That was like the main reason that I didn't finish it, honestly.
Yeah.
Because I do like games with that kind of like very personal, small scale storytelling.
Yes.
And I loved the little snippets of, historical background and folk tales about these places in the Highlands.
Yeah.
But it just kind of felt bad to play. Like it's mostly a platformer, and the platforming just isn't very good.
No.
Like there were some jumps that I'm confident I should have made, but I didn't, and then I fell down really far. And it costs you stamina, and like where you can and can't go is not always very clear. So I just got lost a couple of times, which I guess is like true to life. Like,
yeah.
If you don't know what you're doing, you can actually get lost in the Highlands, right? Like,
yes.
But like that does not make for a very fun game.
No, I think the premise was a bit weird. Well, not weird, but I just kept thinking in the back of my head, like, people die quite a lot from hiking in the Highlands. And I'm like, this is a little child that's run away. And I just kind of felt a bit like, I don't know, like, this isn't cool.
Yeah.
I was kind of like, in real life, that she would have been dead. Because she eats like a chocolate bar every once in a while or something. So that was it was cute. I liked the little music rhythm segments where you'd be running a long stretch of a mountain and then some music would play, and it would tell you like the name of the song and stuff. And I thought that was really sweet.
I do really, really like the music in this game. Like it is a very musical game, and I loved basically everything I heard. It's very much my kind of music.
Need to get you to a ceilidh. You would love a Scottish ceilidh. It's like that kind of music and dancing and people in kilts. I think that would be your jam.
Yeah, like I posted about this on Blue Sky yesterday. My dad asked me for cool songs about ships and sailing, and that like injected dopamine directly into my brain. I think because the like sea shanty nautical folk
Yeah.
kind of Celtic inspired stuff is extremely my jam. Like, admittedly, I listen to more of the Irish inspired stuff than the Scottish inspired stuff.
Yeah.
Because there is a difference.
Yes.
But like Great Big Sea is one of my favorite bands, and they're from Newfoundland in Canada, which has a lot of history of. Most of them are descended from Irish settlers, and so you still kind of hear it in the Newfoundland accent, even to this day.
I love
It's very
Canadians.
cool. Yeah.
Not just because I want to go there, because that's where the Titanic, some Titanic stuff is. No, oh God, you'd love a Ceilidh. We do them in general, and then you do them in the start of Scottish weddings as well. And then we always sing Loch Lomond as well in special occasions. Do you know, I didn't know that my fiance is English. Okay, it's a terrible blight on my life, but you know I deal with it. Not actually anti-English. That's a joke. But I forget that there's some like cultural things that he doesn't actually know. So at the end we do a Ceilidh at the start of a wedding. And then at the end of it, the couple will be in the middle, and then everyone will circle around them, and we'll kind of like all hold hands and go in and out, and we'll sing Loch Lomond, which is like a traditional Scottish song. And obviously in New Year's, like the whole world sings Auld Lang Syne, written by Robbie Burns, famous Scottish poet. So I really like cultural bits and bobs, and I like when they're in games. It's really lovely. I just didn't really like this one that much.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate. But the end, like when I found out the ending too, I was like, oh, okay. It's just, I don't know. I'm more excited. The same developer is on a new game called, is it Expelled? It's like a visual novel set in like an old school, and that looks kind of more interesting and more fun. But I'm glad that there's at least more games inspired by, based in, set in Scotland. Like, I'd rather people make them and, you know, that they exist than there to be no representation, or we're left with like, you know, I don't want to say we're left with Groundskeeper Willie from The Simpsons. There's the Simpsons reference.
Hey.
Tick. Because everybody actually here loves Groundskeeper Willie, because that was the only rep we had for a very long time. So he gets a pass. But
like that and like Braveheart.
Oh, he does not get a pass.
Mel Gibson, screw him.
If anyone's visiting Scotland anytime soon, do not shout freedom in a Scots face. Just don't. That's like, you probably might not leave Scotland alive if you do that. But yeah, it was just sweet to have that rep, and I think I got it for like a couple of pounds on sale on Steam. So I would prefer, because I don't know how many actually Scottish people were involved in the development, so I do prefer when these cultural things have people actually from the culture involved, because although I know
I'm fairly sure at least some of them, because this game got at least on my radar because it was at like an Indie World showcase.
Yeah, I remember that.
And they had like the little developer interview where they were talking about the game, and I definitely heard Scottish accents in those interviews.
Okay, because I don't think the studio are based here.
But I think the writer is, at least, or something.
Okay. I mean, it's not like
I'd have to look it up to double check, but there is definitely some amount of Scottish people on the staff for this game.
Okay, that's good. I mean, it's not like they must have Scottish people. I just prefer, you can tell if there's none. Like, I won't name names because I know the developer and they're lovely. But there was a game that had a Scottish character in it, and it's like a really silly indie game. But the only indication the character is Scottish, besides wearing a kilt, they'll say lassie every once in a while, and I'm like, people don't speak like that. We don't just say one word in Scots and the rest of it's not. It's just, but yeah. And I finished a game I didn't get the full ending, but I finished a game. Let's put that on record.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put it in the spreadsheet
Yeah.
if you're me and unfocused co-host Seskra.
Oh, I don't spreadsheet. I started game journaling though.
Mm.
So I have a bullet journal and I write about the games I play so I don't forget and how long it took to play, and I draw stuff and keep a record of everything I played. That so physically, but not. I probably should do a spreadsheet, but then I'll probably forget to finish the spreadsheet. So anyway,
Sort of in like the same kind of theme. I've been playing Pokémon Shield.
ooh,
And I say it's the same kind of theme because Galar is inspired by like the British Isles, right?
yeah, yes,
Like
yes,
I love the little bits of dialect that are in the dialogue.
oh yeah,
People having a chin wag, you know.
yeah. That is
It's
actually
great.
cute. Yeah.
I loved admittedly it was headcanon, but a very popular one, of the female character being very Scottish.
Yeah, there was people that cosplayed her and they would buy bottles of Iron Brew,
Yeah.
which I did love, and then they would try and do the accent, and I was like, oh no. But no,
Love that a bit less, yeah.
Yeah, but no, I appreciate the Iron Brew reference.
But I have been playing Pokemon Shield partially just I've been like both with the uncle thing and also just for other reasons. I've just been extremely tired recently, and that makes it difficult to play games that I'm not already very familiar with.
Yeah.
So I have sort of chipped away at Okami HD, as I mentioned in the last episode.
Ooh.
But I just sort of did like a greatest hits of, okay, I just need to calm down and just relax. I'm just going to play something easy. And so it's been Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. It's been Monster Hunter Wilds. Not exactly the best candidate for an easy game, I suppose.
No.
But it's something that I'm extremely familiar with. Like I'm almost at 100 hours playtime in this game.
Wow.
Like I know how to play this game.
Yes.
And I recently started up a new save file in Pokemon Shield. I just made like a new profile on my Switch. It's not like attached to an account, so I can't do any like online trading or anything. I'm just playing it single player as is. I'll miss out on a bunch of evolutions, which is going to be kind of a drag. But I'm just playing it to relax. I'm vibing. I will say the main thing I wanted to bring up, and the reason I'm talking about it is, on this podcast, we have cracked jokes multiple times about Pokemon Scarlet and Violet and how they run like garbage. I have previously defended their aesthetics and saying, no, that's not like they don't look terrible. They don't look amazing, but they don't look terrible. Wow, Pokemon Shield looks so much better.
Oh.
Like the world is just so much livelier. I never thought how much I never knew how much I would miss being able to enter buildings until I played Scarlet and Violet.
Oh, I forgot about that. No.
Yeah. And there's just so much more color. There's so much more detail. The Pokemon models are like, I don't know. There's just something about them that looks less stark.
Ooh.
It's just all so much more colorful. And honestly, I kind of prefer it not being one big, massive open world. Like, it was very cool in Scarlet and Violet, and in general, I think I like the story of Scarlet more. I like the dynamic with the school and the teams and all this stuff with the Paradox Pokemon. I thought that was really fun. The story in Shield is like, yeah, that's pretty cool. It's not as cool as Scarlet and Violet. But just, this game is just much nicer to look at, and it doesn't run like garbage.
Always up
There are some frame rate drops, like transitioning into a battle,
Yeah.
but that's it.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've not played it since it came out, I think. So I
Did you play any of the DLCs?
No.
Isle of Armor and Crown Tundra?
No. I know, because I think I was unemployed then, so I don't think I could have afforded them. Because it was like, 9 years ago? No. 8 no, it'd be 8 or 7 years ago. Because the Switch is 8 years old.
It wasn't a launch title.
So 6 years ago?
It was like, I think it was 2019 when they came out.
I don't think I had money then, basically.
Maybe 2017.
Yeah, definitely didn't have money.
Yeah, because I was in Australia when I was playing it. And I was in Australia in 2017 and 2019.
Ah.
So, yeah, one of those two.
Yeah, because I haven't played the DLC for Scarlet and Violet either. But I was deliberately like waiting because I was like, oh, if it runs better on the Switch too.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to expose myself too much, but there's a few Switch games that I bought that are still in the wrapper. And I'm like, well, I'll just play them on the Switch too.
Yeah.
So I've not touched them yet. That's really bad. But yeah, now I'm intrigued. But I just didn't like that one, the one bit you went back to for catching Pokemon. I just wasn't a fan.
The wild area?
Yeah. I don't know. It just felt silly because there wouldn't just be Pokemon in that one area. They're everywhere.
I mean, there are. It's just the wild area is just like the open world part of Pokemon Shield.
Yeah.
There's still traditional routes with the tall grass and stuff.
Yeah. I don't know. I just wasn't into it. Yeah. I did like the kind of. Well, I like the UK stuff to a point because, whenever there's like very Englishy things or like, posher references, I'm like, oh no.
Yeah.
My oppressors. No, I'm joking. But no, I missed the world. It was very cute.
And I don't really have like much else to say on it. It's just, it's been a great game to relax with. I haven't made like a lot of progress. Honestly, I started playing it like end of last week at time of recording. So I've beaten a single gym. Like I have been doing other things as well. So I haven't had like a huge amount of time to play it specifically.
You're busy being an
but
uncle.
It's just, yeah. Okay, I am going to say, like, I haven't, like, I've gone to visit a couple times, and I've been reading the family group chat, of course, but I haven't actually done that much
Uncling.
yet. Yeah.
Is that the word? I don't know.
But yeah, so, Pokemon Shield has been great. Honestly, I would recommend, like, people go back to giving Sword and Shield another go, just to, like, do the compare and contrast between Scarlet and Violet for yourself, because they are very different games. Well, they're not like super duper different, but Scarlet and Violet made a lot of changes that if you like a more traditional experience, Sword and Shield is going to be way more up your alley. And I know I've said it, but I'm saying it again. It looks and runs a lot better. And that's also something to keep in mind when selecting what games you want to play.
Yeah.
You've also been playing a nice and relaxing game, I hope, in Disney Dreamlight Valley.
Yeah.
I'd be shocked if it was a very stressful game. I've never played it. I wouldn't know.
I mean, it's stressful because there's always a million quests to do. And from like a wanting to be organized standpoint, that really annoys me. Like someone that likes to do every single side quest, so they're not like in the menu anymore. Yeah, there was a free update. I mean, there's quite a lot of free updates. It's one of the reasons why I quite like it as a well, it actually isn't free to play because they went back on that as a kind of online type game. Um,
A
they add
live service.
live service. That's the word. I knew it was in my brain. They added the Wonderland Whimsy update, which, as you can probably guess, being a Disney game, brought Alice in Wonderland stuff into the game. You could actually, so like typically when they add free updates and you can go see new characters, you actually go to like in the castle, and there'll be like a magical door, and you will go into that to go into their world. But in this case, a little like rabbit burrow like appears in your valley, which I thought was a very nice touch. And you go down as, Alice in Wonderland, and you're in Wonderland, and it was adorable. There was even like I really like Alice in Wonderland, even though it's one of the weirder Disney films because well, it's based on Alice in Wonderland, but the plot is a bit like it's more like here's the little silly things that happen rather than quite a cohesive story. But I love like the art style, and I love like some of the weird creatures and the way Disney have done it, and they have some of them. So like like the mom rafts, the little like things, the little like creatures that kind of look like what are those? What are those kind of like sea anemones? I can't say that because of my lisp. They have like them, and like they actually act like they do in the movie, and they have like the bird, and they have all the little like things, and I just thought it was really cute. But yeah, you do free little quests for the Cheshire Cat, and you get to add Alice and the Cheshire Cat to your valley, and when you do, unlock little like Alice themed furniture and stuff to use. So I have little signs that say like this way and that way, and I've got like a rose bush, one that's like painted red and one that isn't, and it's all free, and I love that. It's very, very adorable. One of my favorite little things. You can tell this game has got lots of millennials that make it because there's a lot of little touches that I know that a Disney fan would do. And if anyone has listened to a while, you know that I absolutely can't stand that making fun of Disney adult thing, because why is it okay to bully one fandom of a thing, but it's not like all fandoms are cool? Stop with that. Just don't bully each other. So there's like when the characters are walking about, they'll have like an animation that'll be related to like their character. Like Donald Duck will randomly get really angry, and in fact they had to actually like remove how often he did that because it was really annoying. Which is incredible. But Alice does a cute thing where she'll just randomly like she'll go, oh, and she'll just shrink down and be really tiny, and then she'll just be really tiny for a while, and I actually love that so much. It's just adorable. Super cute. The voice actor they got for her is actually really great. They don't do like full voice acting, it's like little barks, but it sounds like the original woman. I forget her name, Catherine something. She's actually still alive, which is amazing. And I just thought it was really cool. I'm still doing the quests. Right now, there's like a week left to do some Cheshire Cat ones, and you get like exclusive furniture. But Alice's house is in my valley. We're hanging out. We're doing quests together. It's amazing. There's also a new, like the bit that is like the life servicey bit. There's a new star path, and that's kind of like their version of a battle pass. And you can do certain tasks, and you'll unlock like outfits and furniture. There is like a Wonderland one, and the end of it, you get this really cool Queen of Hearts outfit. You don't need to do this. I've not. Did I pay for this? I think I already. You accumulate like some of the currency just normally without having to give them real money. And there's some really cute things in there, which is nice. And they also at the same time they've added some Star Wars stuff. Yeah. Like, I mean it's Disney now, so like. But I would have thought they would keep it to like, the
fairy
original
tale stuff.
Yeah, because it
doesn't really feel like it fits. Like
no,
you have Alice in Wonderland, and
I've got Moana. I've got I do have Jack Skellington actually.
Yeah, but even then, that's like it's definitely it's got the Halloween-y aspect to it, but it is still like whimsical. It's fairy tale-y, and then you've got Han Solo with his gun. Like,
well, it's not. They haven't added the characters. You can have R2D2 as a companion, so you get like an animal creature that will follow you about, and then they're like,
Okay.
have R2D2. You get, so because it was the 20th anniversary of what was the, oh my god, what's the third prequel movie again?
Revenge of the Sith.
That's it. Not a fan of the prequels, so I forget their names. It's the 20th anniversary of that, so I think it was the tying with that, because you get R2D2 and you get Anakin's like Jedi outfit, and you get Padme's, like, you know, that dress she has that's kind of cream and has like a pink gradient in the bottom. I think she actually wears that in the second film, not the third.
I do know it, yes.
Yeah, you get to buy that too, and it is cute. You also get like a little Naboo themed house and little furniture. Like, you can change how your house looks on the outside, and you get furniture for it. And you know what? I'm tempted, if I didn't accidentally already give money for a Fortnite Battle Pass and Marvel Rivals one this month, because I have a problem.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's Star Wars stuff now. I actually would laugh if they do actually add like Obi-Wan Kenobi, and because you see the characters hanging about, and sometimes they'll have conversations. So like Ariel will be talking to Goofy, and like if Obi-Wan Kenobi is talking to Ursula, that'd be really weird, but kind of hilarious.
What kind of stories would they share with each other?
Exactly, right. It's so weird. I guess it's not really too weird, because I have like Princess Leia on Fortnite, and I can make her do Dance to Chapel Roan. So like, you know, there's weirder Star Wars bits and games, but hey.
Goku will run by, and
yeah.
Peter Griffin.
Yep.
And Kelsier from the books. Oh God. Oh, this joke, it's dying.
No.
From the Mistborn books, the Brandon Sanderson books.
I don't read. I don't know.
That was like, one of my friends is a big Brandon Sanderson fan. I've also read the first Mistborn book. It is very good. But it's like, it doesn't have like a TV show or a movie or anything. Like, it's just the books. And so that they picked specifically Kelsier from the Mistborn books to be in Fortnite was just one of the weirder picks.
Yeah.
Like, it's good. It's very well known. But why Fortnite?
Yeah, because I bought the Cowboy Bebop like skins, because I mean, love me some Cowboy Bebop, and it's like, do kids know what this is? They'll maybe have the Netflix show, but Cowboy Bebop came out in 1998, and it's not like Dragon Ball levels of fame. It's still quite, well, it's not. It's mainstream if you like anime, but if you're if you just watch anime, sometimes it's not huge. But no, now I can be Spike from Cowboy Bebop, and I can dance to Sabrina Carpenter songs.
Yeah.
It's just,
or you could be Sabrina Carpenter.
I do have Sabrina Carpenter.
Yeah.
Yep, you can do that too.
Aren't there like multiple Ariana Grandes in there as well?
Oh, they're quite rare now,
Different
though.
ones?
Yeah. Well, there's multiple Sabrina Carpenters, because I have the Music Pass one. I don't have the main one. Yeah, that's a thing. Video games, yeah. But yeah, Disney Dreamlight Valley, it's still fun. That's my chill game. And you know what? Sometimes when you talk to the fairy godmother, she'll be like, oh, you're doing good. I believe in you. And it just makes me happy.
Yeah.
And if that makes me sad, then so be it. But I just like, I like my characters I liked as a kid just reminding me that life's all right sometimes.
Yeah.
And also it's got more content in it than New Horizons, so there's way more to do. It's way more detailed. It's way more fun, and I kind of hope that they don't ever stop. I found out there's like an arcade version of this game that's specifically for kids, so they don't have access to the microtransactions and stuff. And I'm like, that's really clever.
Yeah.
More live service games should do that.
For sure, yeah. There was a Mega Man live service game that did that, right? Like they took the mobile live service game offline, and then they put like just a one-time payment Steam version, like the next day or something.
Oh, that's cool. I like that. Well, they did that
Yeah.
with Pocket Camp, but that's because it kind of ended. But yeah,
Yeah.
more of that, please.
Yes, please.
But yeah, and in the meantime, I am still playing Unicorn Overlord and Ring Code. But then
And
other games came out.
yeah, and we are, as we mentioned earlier, getting like really close to the actual release of the Switch 2. We're like 3 weeks away.
There's that. There's that. It's
Yeah.
like 22, 21 days or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I will finish them. I might forget to talk about them. But I will finish them.
We're sort of in like a weird between period right now,
Yes.
where like the peak of the busyness for the Switch 1 is over and has been for a while, to be honest. But like we're sort of in the slump between like, okay, we don't really have that much new stuff to talk about from the Switch 1, and the Switch 2 isn't actually out yet, so most of the big stuff hasn't happened yet.
Yep.
So now we're just sort of waiting.
Yep. And then we'll have too much to talk about.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I will finish. I mean, yeah. I mean, because the next big games we'll probably talk about will be like Mario Kart World and things. Oh my god.
Yeah, and then a little later, Donkey Kong Bonanza.
Yeah, I haven't ordered that yet, but I know I'm gonna soon because the more I see, the more I'm like, oh my god, that looks so fun.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, excited.
But we'll have to wait and see just a couple more weeks before we can get that far. In the meantime, I am going to be playing more Okami, or at least I'm going to be trying to. As previously mentioned, it's a little hard to play unfamiliar games right now, so it's entirely possible I'll just end up playing more Pokemon.
That's fair.
We'll see. Like it's busy times right now, and it's a lot going on in just life in general. But that should hopefully not interfere with us getting podcast episodes out too often. I mean, obviously that happened this month, but we do our best to keep it on a reasonably consistent schedule.
Yeah.
And speaking of which, that's going to do it for this episode of this podcast. I hope you enjoyed listening to it. I know we really enjoyed recording it. If you liked it, leave us all of that nonsense on YouTube. Click all the buttons, do all the things. Come join our Discord server. Hit us up on Blue Sky. We'll give you all the information at the end of the episode. But for now, we're going to talk to you all later. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hey everybody, Hilke here. I just wanted to say thank you for listening to this episode of N Focus. If you enjoyed it, please leave us a review on iTunes. It really helps us get noticed. Please tell your friends if you think they'd be interested. We always love having new people in the community. Word of mouth really helps with that kind of thing. You can listen and subscribe on Spotify, other podcast services, and YouTube. And if you are listening on YouTube, be sure to hit the like button, leave us a comment, subscribe, hit the bell, all that nonsense. I'm going to get used to saying it eventually. Be sure to check out our sister show, Game Podular Unfocused, as well. You can follow us on Blue Sky and at GamePodular.com for updates, news, and other content. Links to all of our socials, including the Mastodon, the Blue Sky, and our Discord server, may be found at our Linktree. If you'd like to support our shows, you can buy us a coffee or become a Game Podular patron on the Patreon. The details for both are on our website. Thank you. This episode was edited by me, and you can follow me at Gear12Turbo, at kind.social on Mastodon, or at Gear12Turbo.bluesky.social on Blue Sky. I was joined today by Rosalie, who you can find at Little Record Girl at .bluesky.social on Blue Sky. Have a good one.